Hello and welcome to the Potato Podcast. My name is Potato and I'm joined with my co-host.
Ian Boy here.
Yeah, okay, well this is the second podcast. Doing pretty good. So how about we talk about some games? What are some games that you like to play? I know we talked about this in the last podcast, but we can go into depth more.
Well, I feel like I've been playing a bunch of games like Siege, Rainbow Six Siege. It's in there. Fortnite, of course. Black Ops 3, GTA. All of the simple ones that everyone knows about. But I'm really looking forward to E3 2019 to release some more games and see what they're on about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I'm a big Far Cry fan. Maybe later we can make some Far Cry videos, if you know what I mean.
See, I don't really know the specs for the Xbox One or the new Xbox that's coming out. I believe it's called the Xbox 2. It's an odd name to have it.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, but I don't know any specs for it, and maybe you do.
Yeah, I think the release date is 2020.
Yeah, for the PS5, it's said to be released at this E3 gaming event. They said either 2020 or 2021 because they confirmed that it will not be released this year. And there's a bunch of really good specs for it. Like, for example, 8K TV support. So you'll be running 8K games. And yes, they're developing those for TVs as well.
Wow.
There's also going to be backwards compatibility with PS4. But they don't even know if they're going to be calling it PS5 yet. Say that they should just stick to, PS3, PS4, and just PS5, of course.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to have a huge storage system with 3D audio. So it's going to be basically surround sound, even if you're using a headset. That's really nice.
That's cool. Yeah. I think the Xbox 2, maybe, they said the price range is going to be around like $500 to $600.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, like with phones nowadays, they're coming out with the new iPhone 10 or Samsung Galaxy 10. Those phones are costing like $1,000 each, which is basically just the same phone with like a better camera and some more different quality stuff. But yeah.
See, what I did to get my Xbox One, I traded in my 360 and had to pay $200 extra for the Xbox One. And I really think I should do that again with the new Xbox 2 that's coming out, if they allow that. Because, really speculating, because I have the first generation Xbox One, and there's a bunch of bugs on it. For example, lagging out of games, just glitching, and I also think the connection for internet is not that good on the newer generations ones.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with Xbox 2.
Yeah, well. Well, the thing is about, like, same thing with, like, first generation phones. Like, they release a phone, and then a year later they release another one that's way better, and everybody thought this first generation phone was this huge hype, so they all bought it. Same thing with, like, have you heard of the Windows 8?
Of course.
It was only out for, like, 2 years, and it was horrible. You couldn't really, like, download much on it. It had a really bad manual. Like, there's stuff where if you bought it and the manual is just really basic, doesn't really show how to use the computer if you're somebody new getting used to computers.
I see.
Yeah. Same thing with, like, the Samsung, the Galaxy 9. Or did they release a 9 yet?
Yeah, I think they have a 9.
Yeah, because I think it was only out for like a year, and then they just immediately released the 10.
Yeah, see, I'm with LG. Life's good, by the way.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to talk about our first video. I'm really proud of our whole community that we have growing here. Over the last 2 days, we gained 100+ views, subscribers in 2 days. So that, to me, that's amazing, and I hope we grow even more. Awesome to do.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Social Blade, And we made a whole 30 cents. Wow,
Damn.
have a little applause for that. So rich. Yeah, well.
So I've heard this conspiracy theory about there's being microphones in pigeons. It is like, so the pigeons fly around gathering information, and they're just made to be like a fly on the wall. So it's like the microphone is in their chest, and it also has a camera, and the camera is their eyes. And they have battery, the CPU, the speaker, some charging and it's said to have the charging in the feet.
That's why they're probably always sitting on power lines, because they're sucking the power from the power lines to charge themselves.
Oh, I see.
And also maybe the power lines are connected to the government, so they sit on that to because they probably don't have that much storage on it because it's such a small thing. So they probably gather as much information as they can. They go to the power line, release the information, and charge back up and go back out. Yeah. And also, when they had the government shutdown, I myself did not see any pigeons at all, or much birds
collecting
at all.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
For the data.
Yeah. Speaking of conspiracy theories, like, what do you think about like the Illuminati? Do you think those?
Oh, great. I think it's real. Not out there that much. Like, the Illuminati knows exactly what you're doing at each moment. I don't think they're that. But I do think it's real. Like, there are huge things that are, like, are doing. But not, like, every single minute. Only if we search some risky something up, like how to create a bomb or something like that.
Yeah,
and even me just
say
saying
that on
this
podcast, PG, family friendly, clean. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Or helmet, as we
it's
say
a helmet,
yeah. Yeah. Continue.
But yeah, I was just saying, if you said that, even if you said that, they would probably, like, a trigger would go on, and just so they would listen to it, like, your whole conversation.
Actually, they have that through the phone. Like, this isn't like a conspiracy or anything. This is actually something that's public. That if you're on a phone call or something, if you say something that's like a trigger word, like some type of drug or yeah, it's not gonna list everything. Like spinach or sugar and flour. Code names here, because the YouTube algorithm can tell. Yeah, but the police it has an automatic recording, and it sends it to this company that looks through it and says if it's just like, if you're just talking about it, or if there's actually like a deal going down, and then they check the rest of the recording to see if you said a time and date, so it's easier for them to have drug busts and stuff.
I mean, yeah, the things that you see in movies, I've actually researched it. Like, they can pinpoint your exact location by satellite, and they can get 10 like feet. Who you are and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's actually real. Like, it's not just because it's sci-fi and movies and stuff. They can actually do that.
Same thing if you like. Have you ever gone hunting before? Or
of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, usually you bring.
Does hunting for fish count, like fishing?
No, like hunting. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, you usually bring a GPS, and the GPS can track you right down to, I think it was either 10 feet or 10 meters. The imperial system is just retarded. Even though that we live in America, I still just don't agree with that.
See.
What do you think about the imperial system? Think we should just go back to a metric?
Yeah, because the whole rest of the world is using it. Literally only us and maybe
Canada.
Wait. I don't know my facts on Canada, but most of the world is using it, and it's going to be so much more simple. Because think of how fast we learned the imperial system. It's not going to be hard just to switch back to metric.
Yeah.
And America is just being, I gotta be different. So they have that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada, I'm actually going up there during the summer. It's gonna be pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard because we just sold a house, so we have some. Because we first started living out in the boonies where Ono is living,
yes.
or Onion Boy as he's referred to, and we soon moved to the city where it's just closer to everything. Like, you can ride your bike, walk down to the store. It's pretty fun. But we still have that house up there, and it's like this big 2-story green house on a 3 acres with an orchard. Really nice. But we sold that for around, like, I think it was, the asking price was $350, and we got $360 because there was 2 people bidding on it. So
did you use a contractor to sell it, or like you? Or your family did?
We used I forget her name, but she's a really good contractor. Yeah.
Yeah, she would be really good because like most of them, they take a lot of your money, or like just for helping you, they'll take.
I think we only paid her like $30,000, which is like
that's nothing in houses, like house terms.
Yeah. But usually the asking price is like the highest you want to receive. That nobody ever goes above the asking price, but these 2 people were bidding on it, and it ended up going to $360,000. So that we got to pay off both the mortgages for that house, and I think we had like $50,000 left. So we were like, our family was like, "Oh, hey, how about we go on a trip?" So everybody in we've never been on a cruise, so and. I myself really like cold weather. Like, I like going up to high climates. I just really like cold weather. So we're gonna be going to Alaska and taking a cruise down to Canada and then down to Seattle, which should be really fun.
Yeah, personally, I want to be colder than hot.
Yeah.
Like this summer weather here in Hawaii. Beautiful, but it's too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of traveling, I also have only traveled out of Hawaii, I think, 3 times.
That's it?
Yeah. Because one was for my grandpa passed away, so we went to go to the funeral.
Big rip.
And hang out with my grandma. And the other one, I don't remember it. I was 6, but my dad took me to Disneyland. And the other one was a family reunion in Oregon. So that was like the only time. Yeah. So I never really had to get a passport. But now that I'm going to Canada, I have to get a passport, which is like...
Hey, I thought you didn't need a passport for Canada.
No, you need a passport for Canada now.
Okay. Well, yeah, because when I travel, I usually don't travel. I usually go internationally, like China, Thailand, Japan, Singapore, all of those places, even the European countries like Germany.
Yeah.
So, of course, you need I hate when you get something higher than, what is it called, business class?
Yeah.
Because luxurious than just the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it's like a really long flight. A big layover, and when you're in the higher classes, you will not have to. You'll have the place where you stay for your layover is much nicer.
Yeah.
I heard that you were collecting a mustard packet for when you're traveling on the cruise ship.
Yeah, that's just a stupid story. So on the cruise ship, there's a guy. This would probably be the most humiliating job ever. There's this one man who's dressed up in a full tuxedo, and he walks around with a Germex bottle. I don't know what they call him, but my friend went on this cruise line a few times before, and he told me he always walks around asking, "Washi washi? Washi washi?" holding the Germex bottle, and he gives you Germex, and it's really weird. And my friend told me that because I told him we're going to be going on a cruise, and he was like, oh yeah, cool, I went on a cruise before, and told me that. And I was like, oh, what cruise line is that? And he was like, oh yeah, it's the Alaskan cruise line. And I was like, that's the one that we're going on. And he was like, yeah, you'll probably see Mr. Washy Washy. So I went home and I Googled about the Alaskan cruise lines, and yeah, there's a guy who walks around asking Washy Washy to wash your hands. So I want to try to be able to bring him the mustard packet and tell him I brought this from Hawaii. It's a Hawaiian delicacy, and get him to take the mustard packet. So, yes, even though that mustard was created in Germany, but yeah, like we were talking about passports and stuff. It was really hard to get a passport now. And the thing is, we went, since the new president, he made the hard to get the passport for immigration policies now. Yeah, but so I went to go get the passport, and it takes a while to fill out, but you can fill out the forms at home. So I started filling out the forms, and the thing is, I kind of don't really use pencils. I use this type of pen. It's an invisible. If it's a normal ink, but when you apply friction or heat, it turns invisible. So my dad asked for a pen, and I just gave him one of those pens, and he started filling out the form. It took him 3 hours to fill out all the forms. We got to the place. He opened his binder or whatever. He gave the forms to the person, sat down, and about 5 minutes later, the person walked out, and it was like, sir, you have to fill out the forms. And he looked at it, and he realized there was nothing on the form. And I remembered that he set the forms on the dashboard of the car when we drove to the passport place.
Jesus.
Yes, so we spent forever we had to drive all the way, because we got there right when they were about to close, and and I had a doctor's appointment the next day, so we didn't get to get our passport for like another week, because they're like rarely open. It's this place at the college. It's like $30 or something to get a passport. And then me and my dad got a passport, and then we were filling out my mom's passport, but she had this weird birth certificate that I don't know why, but they wouldn't accept it. So we had to send the birth certificate all the way back to Vancouver, Washington, where she was born, and they had to fill out a new birth certificate, verify that it's a real one, and then send it back here. So that took like a week. So we finally have all the passports, and we're good. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was just a big thing.
Speaking of that, I should really get my passport renewed. I think it's expired over a year ago.
Yeah, because you're going to Thailand soon, right?
Yeah. I should
you should
get that.
really do that as soon as possible.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Or maybe not tomorrow, but like before the end of summer, because it takes a while.
Right. See, I noticed this thing. Your hair. It looks like wavy ramen hair.
Oh my god.
Explain to me why.
I have no idea. We're of lots of our family is very European, and usually some European countries like Scotland and Wales, they're really hairy people. So my hair is really thick, and it just will not, like, I can't comb it or anything. I put conditioner in it. That doesn't really seem to help. When I go to the haircut place, the first time I ever got my haircut, they were well, maybe the first 5 times, because they don't really remember you. They were like, oh, your hair is really thick. And after that, every time I came, they were like, hey, yeah, it's you.
Thick boy.
There's this one guy there, every time I go to get my haircut, he's like, hey, another challenge for the day. Or a challenge of the day, or something like that. And yeah, so like I'm known at the barbershops or the place where I get my haircut as the kid with the thick hair.
I've had something happen to me kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, cut my hair. It doesn't look that good. I just gotta let it grow out a bit more, and then it'll look. But I went there. I went to like a Supercuts in the mall, and there was like an hour till closing, and when I walked in, my hair was just frayed outwards a bunch, and it's super thick. And then they look at my hair. Oh, I'm like, appointment, but can we just cut it? And they're like, and they look at my hair and they're like, oh, sorry, we're full until 2 days from now.
Because they don't want
So
to
they just didn't want to
mess.
deal with me.
Yeah. That doesn't really happen to me, but like, cause the guy there likes a challenge, so he's like, oh yes, a challenge for today. So he gets like really hyped up about cutting my hair because it's just like a challenge for him. But like,
the twist.
yeah.
Go ahead.
He asked me to try to grow out my hair so he can put cornrows in it and try to give me like what's it called? Oh, sponge haircut.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe not. Yeah.
The twisted part about it is that I've literally before I walked in there, the person before me, he didn't have a lot of hair and he said he wants just a buzz cut. And so he literally walked in there and he's like, "Oh, can I schedule it?" And the lady's like, "Oh yeah, sure, come in." She did his hair and then it was my turn to do it and then she told me, hey, we can't do it for another 2 days. Yes.
What? That's kind of messed up. Where did you go?
Yeah. Supercuts Kale. Oh, okay, so my experience there, single time I cut my hair in Hawaii, my sideburns, they're always crooked. But I just found out why today. It's because my ears are crooked.
Wait, what?
The hair where my ears kind of line up, and since my ears are crooked, my sideburns are always crooked.
Oh. And
well, anyways, I got kind of mad. I didn't yell at the lady or anything, but it was like an 80-year-old lady that cut my hair last time at Supercuts Kale. I'm like, hey miss, they're kind of uneven, and it wasn't doable, like 2 inches off uneven. So she had to cut it up, and then now it's just like a ½ inch. But that's just normal for my ears.
Oh, okay.
Odd. But only go there, in my opinion, when the dude is there. It's like a 25-year-old. He really knows what he's doing.
I usually go to the Hilo haircuts. There's a guy, RJ, there. You have to book him a week in advance because, like, everybody loves that guy because he's a hip young lad.
Yeah.
And he talks about Fortnite and other stuff. About stuff nowadays, yeah.
Fortnite,
So everybody wants to get his haircut by him, and he does a really good job too.
Speaking of money now, I just remembered that one person owes me $15. I'm not gonna mention his name.
Oh, that guy.
Video.
Yeah.
$15 still needs to come to me, and another $7 from another person. But this one guy that owes me $15,
we're just gonna
paid $35 or $30-something dollars. Paid it in all $2 bills.
Oh, those are actually really rare.
Actually, not. Unless you're getting, it's called the Red Seal ones. So anything below, it's a 1963 Red Seal. It's worth $4 to $6. 53 or 53. Anyways, the 1963 and the 53 Red Seals, they're worth $4 to $6. And then there's this special, a super rare one. It's the 1928 one, Red Seal. So it was made during when they had scarce times. That is worth $10 to $20 for one singular $2 bill.
Huh.
Problem is, well, the $2 bills that I have, they're all from 2019. I thought they stopped producing them.
Really?
2019 on it.
Oh, okay. That's really weird. Because actually, if there was ever like a big nuclear apocalypse or something, they have like a $2 to $3 billion in $2 bills locked in a safe somewhere. in one of them, like mountains or something.
Yeah, if there's a nuclear apocalypse, my opinion is that it's gonna be back, like, money is not gonna be worth anything, since there's gonna be rummaging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the economy, of course, it's just gonna plummet. People are gonna be trading with jewelry and, you know,
They would probably
ores.
go back to coins or gold.
I'm thinking, because I have like a huge jar of pennies, and a lot of them are under the newer times, so they're actually worth more than 1 cent because they're like pure copper, or not pure, but like 99%. So if I were to melt all of them, I would probably get a lot of money just by combining it and somehow reducing the other metals that are in it. For example, I have like a 10-pound bag of just pennies sitting next to me.
Yeah. Speaking of like
Very nice.
melting stuff, my dad's like a really big ocean person. He loves the ocean. So do I, but like I haven't been really going to the ocean or something like that. But he used to make his own fishing weights, and how you used to do that, you get a cast and you start melting down lead, like high grade pure lead, like the cancer agent, or no, does lead cause cancer? It causes lead poisoning, right?
If you ingest it inside of you, and I think if you breathe it as well,
and you touch it or something, if it gets in contact. But that was back in.
Hold on, real quick. Just keep talking, but
yeah, but that was when most people didn't really realize lead was bad for you. So he always used to use lead for fishing weights and stuff. So what had happened is, and since we were moving out of our house, he had this big container of, I didn't know it was lead, but like I just thought it was random metal, and it was really easy to bend. So I picked it up. I was like, "Hey Dad, what's this metal?" I was like bending around. And it was like, "Don't touch that. That's lead." I was like, "Wait, what?" So he literally just has a bucket of lead, or a container of lead downstairs. Not really in a basement, but I'm not sure, because our house has like, it's like half of it is underground and the other half has windows to the outside. So it's kind of like a half basement. But he has a big container of lead down there, which is kind of scary, but like, yeah, if you ever need to make a fishing weight, yeah. So if you do actually need to melt down those pennies, you can just come by our house and melt it down. Yeah.
So I recently just watched this thing on Mythbusters. I'm assuming you know who they are, right?
Oh yeah, it's Adam for life.
Myths. So this thing where you can, if you have lead, like molten lead or molten anything,
yeah, and
you stick your hand in water and then dip it inside, you won't get burnt. So they tried this with the pork sausage at first. Got burnt a little bit. So they raised the temperature to have it boil off the moisture faster. They had it so the steam would come off, and you would be protected.
Yeah, because
so what happens?
Make an air pocket, right? From the steam.
That's exactly. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, you explain it. Well, that's basically all there is to explain. Yeah. So, anyways, they tried it with their hands. None of them got burnt. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but still, on this podcast, we don't promote sticking anything of your body part into anything hot or attempting to hurt yourself purposely. Not even to do with self-harm or anything, but even like just being ignorant.
Even if it's for science.
Yeah. You should really just not do that. Yeah. Well, we're getting close to a half an hour, which was the one thing that we're trying to do each podcast. So,
Well, say something. I'll say something where... Okay, so our upload schedule, I'm going to say that it's at every single end of podcast. It's going to be Thursdays and Sundays. And Sundays we'll have a special guest on.
Well, Tuesday, Sunday.
What did I say?
You said Thursdays
did I say that?
and Sundays, yes.
I meant to say Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So, special guest come on. And leave comments below if you would like to be in the next one, or yeah. So every Sunday.
If you want to be in the next podcast, leave your Discord name and the numbers on it, and we'll try to figure out who you are and get you on the podcast. And well, I'm Potato.
Onion Boy signing off here.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So.
Bye.